Hey there, welcome back to Blind Awakening Art. I'm Rhonda, and today, as you can see, I am going to be pouring over a small glass container. This is actually a small little fish bowl that I picked up at the dollar store. So the colors that I'm using today, that first color is ARTEZA Magenta. The second color is Amsterdam Indigo. That third color that looks real peachy in this video, but really is not, is Color Art Primary Elements called Shy Rose. That blue color is ARTEZA, it's Peacock. And I'm doing this a little bit different today. That is called Pixie Dust by Color Art. It's a primary element. And so you can see that the canvas underneath is one that I had already painted, but I wasn't happy with it, so I stuck it underneath here. There was a kind of a white looking color there underneath that pink, and that is Hydrangea by Color Art. Then we have the magenta again, and this purple is actually ARTEZA Violet. So, pouring over glass, I've only done it a couple of times, and I wasn't real crazy about the results I got. Everything got kind of muddy. It just didn't really do what I wanted it to do. But today I'm trying something a little different. These paints, the paint colors themselves, are just mixed with FLOETROL. And some of them a little bit of water just to get them to the right consistency. But these are thicker than what I've used in the past. And so they seem to stay a little more separated by doing it this way. But pay attention to that paint that's running off that glass and onto the canvas, because I am telling you, stay to the end till you see what that canvas looks like, because it turned out so cool, you guys. I was super happy with the canvas. And in the past, my canvases have kind of been more on the muddy side, with the colors all kind of blending together. So this time, I'm just doing it a little bit different. I'm kind of spinning as I go to try to move the paint a little faster. And I'm taking care to kind of place the paint where I want it to go, rather than just pouring it all over the place. And as it pools up in the center on the top there, I'm kind of pushing that pool of paint over the edge too. So we're just going back with, the same colors over and over again. And later, I don't know, it'll probably be a week or so. I'm going to let these things dry completely, and then I'll do just a little short. Excuse me. I'll do a little short and show you what the dry results looked like. So we're just layering the colors over and over again here. And, it's the same colors that were on that canvas that I'm painting over the top of. I still had all these same colors out. So, and I liked the colors, but the technique I did on this other canvas was a flip cup, and I just really didn't like the results of it. It just wasn't what I had in mind. It was okay, but it was too dark for me because it had a black base, and I just felt like, it just wasn't my cup of tea. So we can do that, with fluid art. We can scrape it if we don't like it, or let it dry and paint over the top of it. So that's what I did here. So again, we're just continuing to layer the colors. And I'm using the stick now instead of pouring it out of the cup, just so that I can get a a little more intentional placement of these colors. And again, spinning to try to move the paint a little bit. And that seems to be working. I'm kind of liking the results of this. Right now, it kind of looks a hot mess right now, but it actually turned out really, really pretty. And I really want you to see what this canvas looks like because it turned out super cool. So we are just gonna sit back here and I'll let you watch the video for a minute and then we'll talk about the canvas. I'm just kind of spreading that around on the top a little bit, which is actually the bottom. Now, you'll notice right there, I didn't put that paint where I really wanted it to go. I wanted it on the edge so that it would run down. But because I don't have depth perception, I really couldn't really tell where I was placing that. So now I'm going to scrape it over a little bit so that it runs down the side. Not what I wanted to do, but, you know, there's always a way to fix things. Just going to spread that around there on that top again. I had never really thought about spinning glass that I poured over, but it made a kind of a cool feathery effect. So I'm kind of liking that. So here we go. That glass is sitting on top of a plastic cup to hold it. So I moved that over to another table so it could start to dry. Normally I have more paint. I have like a base paint or something on this canvas, but in this case I did not. It was a dry canvas when I started. So, and that was a small piece of glass. So I really didn't use a whole lot of paint because normally that hole in the center will fill in all by itself. But I didn't have enough paint to do that. So I'm just taking those same colors and I'm just kind of layering them on the center there. These color art primary elements have so much shimmer. They are amazing. Especially this last one. Well, I'm going to put this violet on here first, but the last color art that I'm going to put down is that pixie dust, and it is such a gorgeous gold shimmer. I've used it a lot. Now I'm just going to put some more purple, excuse me, around the outer edge to help that paint flow to the edges. Oops, I must already put that pixie dust down on there. And then I'm going to go ahead and put some black around the edges too. Nope, there's my pixie dust. I must have forgot and started doing the outside edges before I remembered to put the pixie dust down. Now I've got the black, and I'm just going to fill in some there with the black. Just again to try to help those colors flow when I spin this. I'm going to embellish this first before I spin it. So you'll see that I have my little embossing tool. And I'm going to go in and just kind of create some patterns and designs in this. Going from the center out. Then I'm going to come back and go from the outside edges to the center. Do a little bit more embellishing there in the center to make a little spiral design. And while you watch that, I will tell you that in the description, I do have links to the different products that were used. So there's my puppy pool and my spinner table, which is on sale right now. It's a really good deal if you're looking for a spinner table. I've got the gloves, I've got the paint, I've got the disposable shower caps that I use on top of my wonderful spinner table to protect it. I've got some discount codes, just a lot of different information in the description. If you just click on that and take a look at it. And let's see, what are we doing now? I'm still making my lines here. Am I? And you notice I'm wiping my embossing tool every time I pick it up because I don't want to pull paint back in again to the pattern. Here we go. We're going to make a little spiral thing here. And then I'm just going to do some little curlicue things all around that spiral just to add some additional interest and, just a kind of a cool design. Whoa! And did you see that? I didn't have any double-faced tape on the bottom of this. A lot of times I don't even need double-faced tape. All I need is some paint underneath that'll cause a suction and keep that canvas on the spinner. But this time I didn't have that, so that baby went flying. But I saved it. Good thing I had quick reactions. Okay, so I still have too much paint on here. So I don't want this to crack. So I'm still going to have to get some of this paint off of here. So I'm going to have to continue to spin it. And I don't want to tilt it because when I tilt, it gets more distorted. It stays more in conformity when I spin. And I really wanted to keep some black negative space because I thought that looked kind of cool. So, I don't know. What's the... I don't know what we're doing here. Oh, okay. So I'm coming back with the embossing tool, and now I'm going to make my little curlicues. I don't know where you all are at. I'm in the Midwest. We have these crazy cicadas that are just like insane. They're so annoying. I can't even go outside and sit on my front porch because they're so loud. Oh my gosh. It's crazy. My husband was scooping up the shells by the shovelful today, and putting it in Walmart bags because my son and daughter-in-law are big gardeners and they have a worm farm. So supposedly these cicada shells are high in all kinds of nutrients, and the worms love them, and they go great in the compost pile. They're good for your garden. That's the only thing I can think of that they're good for, though. And I can't wait until they've done their mating and laid their eggs and die, because I can't tolerate them much longer. So you see, now that I've spun this out some more, I've eliminated my negative space, my black space. But I'm going to fix that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my black paint and I'm just going to make some little outlines on the four corners of this and fill those in with black, and then spin again to, just kind of blend it together. But just kind of some random little patterns on the corners there, just because I do like to have some negative space sometimes. I don't always want my canvas to be completely filled with color. I like that little bit of contrast occasionally. Now, I'm going to try to spread that around with a little palette knife just to cover that black. I'm going to spin it first and see what happens, but that really wasn't cutting it. So I'm going to get my little palette knife out and I'm going to kind of spread it around, spread the black around with the palette knife. Now you see my head stuck in there because I'm using my magnifying glass to try to look up close and see if my sides are covered and things like that. So here I go with the palette knife. That one was fine. I forgot to wipe the palette knife off though. And I think this one is where I actually drug some purple paint back through the black again. But it's okay because, I can just put another little squirt of black on there and fix that, which is what I did. I think that was outside the camera view, and I just drug some more paint in there again. So I'm just going to touch that up. I'm going to go around here and do the same thing on the remaining corners. Just get my black spread around and then I'll spin it again. It's not going to take too much more to get it where I need it to be. The thing about fluid art, it's so forgiving. There's so many things you can do. If you don't like the way something looks, like this, I can just give it a totally different look by just coming back in with this little bit of black and touching up these corners. I think I maybe drug some color in there. I can't really see. I can't really see this video very well because it's small to me. So, okay, let's spin it again. I don't know, while this is spinning, if you can start to see the color shift and the shimmer from those primary elements, but it is pretty fantastic, you guys. Pretty fantastic. And I really like this. This is just a kind of a cool, reminds me of like a poster that I had in my bedroom back in the 70s. So there it is. We are done. I'm going to have a quick little flyover type video here to show you some of the details. And thank you so much for hanging out with me for 20 minutes today. If you haven't subscribed, I'd appreciate it if you would do that. Hit that little bell so you get notified. And as I always say, we don't need sight to have vision. So let's paint a world filled with beauty, inspiration, and hope. See you next time.